The story begins with a scene of mass destruction. We see a city in a semi-apocalyptic state with two people fighting. One of them wields a massive sword enchanted with flames, and there's a blast of fire behind them. This character charges forward to strike the enemy using the skill Meteor Smash, which destroys everything around. With buildings collapsing and smoke descending, the enemy is still alive and ready to face him. He says, "Is that all you've got?" Kim Hyun-tae becomes very nervous, realizing his attack didn't kill the enemy. "Well, if that's all you've got, now it's my turn," says the enemy, managing to strike Kim Hyun-tae. Meanwhile, the narrative tells the story of an exiled hero. One day, various plants and animals on Earth transformed into monsters, and invaders from other dimensions appeared. We see one of these species, which looks like an elf, completely destroying part of the city with an explosion. We're told that the world is now in an era of great chaos. At that moment, we see a canine creature fiercely attacking a man who tries to flee, calling for help. Luckily, someone appears and manages to decapitate the creature, explaining that humanity created the Guild, a group of heroes with special powers, to fight against these threats. At this moment, we see another very large creature, with the body of a bull and the head of a goat. It's known as Gotor, the area boss. It charges at someone, but they manage to defend against the attack. Damn, why is this creature so strong? He thinks. He's part of the Heroes Guild and serves as the tank, but let's call him Hwang Junho. While Hwang Junho blocks the attack, the creature is already drawing another axe. Hwang Junho realizes he won't be able to block the next blow, but someone appears to rescue him. We see a scrawny young man, trembling with fear, defending against the attack. At that moment, he shouts, "Now!" and another person behind him casts a lightning spell, hitting the creature and creating a huge explosion. "Did you like that, goat?" she says. "Let's call her Sion." However, the boss is still alive, and Sion realizes he might attack her. The young man, Yoo Ji-han, manages to save her. Analyzing the situation, Yoo Ji-han realizes the creature didn't take direct damage from the spell, but he managed to buy enough time. Another heroine arrived, Lee Mia, one of the team's main damage dealers. She quickly advances with her knives, using the skill Rapid Cut, making several cuts on the boss's body, causing it to fall to its knees. However, it still screams loudly and tries to attack Lee Mia, who has her back turned. Lee Mia simply points upwards and says, "Up there." We see the person we saw at the beginning, wielding the flaming sword, descending and using Meteor Smash, causing a huge explosion and finally killing the creature. It's narrated that he is the #1 in the Heroes Guild, named Kim Hyun-tae, the team leader. The protagonist is Yoo Ji-han, who thinks, "I was also part of Kim Hyun-tae's team that was there at the founding. Or at least I was." We see a street full of dead monsters and scattered weapons. Kim Hyun-tae and Yoo Ji-han are talking, and the leader says, "Yoo Ji-han, you're expelled from the group." "What? Why?" The next scene shows Yoo Ji-han walking in the rain, reflecting on how he worked like a dog for 7 years, and all he got was 10 million won, about $200. He remembers his teammates speaking ill of him. Hwang Junho says, "And what have you done for the group?" Sion comments, "Any newbie can do what you do with a little training," and Lee Mia is direct, "You're weak." The leader concludes, "This group doesn't need you anymore." Yoo Ji-han is devastated, thinking he stayed there for so long for nothing. However, Yoo Ji-han's story doesn't end here. We see him surrounded by a cube of green lasers, activating his unique skill, Sampling, which activates randomly in special situations. After being expelled from the Heroes Guild, Yoo Ji-han searched for a new guild for a week. We see a scene of him searching on the computer and saying, "I found the Fun Guild." He is startled by something he sees. The chances of the Fun Guild growing and becoming a giant guild if he joins it are 99%. "I can see the probability with this skill of mine. I will be more successful than you guys." The scene shifts to a small apartment. There's a glass on the table, and a girl says, "The power comes right when I put this powder in the water." At that moment, Yoo Ji-han opens the door, and the girl is shocked. "Who are you?" she asks. "I'm here to join the Fun Guild," replies Yoo Ji-han before collapsing on the floor. The girl runs to him, calling out, "Are you okay? Hey, are you okay?" Yoo Ji-han wakes up on her couch. "Ah, you're awake. You were unconscious for an hour. You're Yoo Ji-han, right?" she asks. "And I'm Kim Seo, the leader of the Fun Guild." "How do you know my name?" asks Yoo Ji-han. She shows his ID, which still has the Heroes Guild symbol. "Why are you trying to join my guild after being in such a giant guild?" Yoo Ji-han feels a bit awkward and keeps his head down. But then he stands up and says, "I'll explain everything to you." After a long conversation, Kim Seo says, "I understand your situation, but but with your experience, you could easily join another guild. I don't understand why you want to join us. He thinks, should I really tell her the truth about my mysterious ability? And responds, it's because, well, since you can't talk about yourself right now, let me tell you about me. First, I'm the daughter of an elf and a human. I'm a half-elf. After several incidents with invasions from other dimensions, the world discovered other species, including elves. I have the blood of elves who once massacred humans. What do you think about that? Do you still want to join the guild? Yu Jihan stares at Kim Sihu for a moment and, with a serious expression, says, you're trying to scare me, but your hands are trembling. I have nothing against elves. I've seen them many times, and they are very different from humans. Discriminating against people because of their species is idiotic. Kim Sihu blushes a bit and says, I understand the situation. I'll approve your entry and contact you later, okay? Thank you very much, Yu Jihan replies. Suddenly, we see a crystal glowing intensely. Kim Sihu thinks, the Pluron is reacting to something. The glow intensifies, transforming into a sphere of light that moves upwards. A sylph spirit, you've been dormant for 12 years. Why are you awakening now? Asks Kim Sihu. The spirit moves toward Yu Jihan's forehead and starts to shine even brighter. Kim Sihu shouts, no, but a massive explosion of light occurs. A pillar of light so large appears that it's visible throughout the city. Kim Sihu, still shocked, sees that Yu Jihan seems to have absorbed the sylph's power. What? The sylph made a contract with a human? She exclaims. At this moment, the real narrative begins. The exiled hero Yu Jihan received a power that only 20 people on the entire planet possess, the elementalist class. The story explains that there are heroes of all kinds, and that heroes who make contracts with special spirits can use their powers. There's the ultra-rare class, the Spirit Summoner, and some of these Spirit Summoners have been activated worldwide. We have the Spirit Summoner of Mist, Luca Harrison, from England, the Spirit Summoner of the Sea, Morosi Soifua, from Samoa, and the Spirit Summoner of Sand, Abubakar, from Egypt. Each of them has a power equivalent to an entire guild, and these are just the first 3. Currently, there are 20 worldwide. They are beings above the norm. And now we have a new being above the norm who has just emerged, the Spirit Summoner of Wind, our dear Yu Jihan, from South Korea. The story returns to the scene at the Fun Guild. So you made a contract with the spirit? Asked Kim Sihu, still perplexed. Exactly, specifically with Sylph, the spirit of the wind, replied Yu Jihan. You made a contract with my dead mother. Oh, and there's no way to return or cancel the contract. It's too late for that. Once a spirit chooses its owner, it's very difficult to change. The contract lasts until your death. So, what do I do now? What do you do? You've already passed the test, haven't you? Or don't tell me you're thinking of running away. No, I'm not. I have no intention of joining another guild, except this one. Kim Sihu blushes at this. Well, you have a good eye. So, I'll gradually teach you how to use your spirit. Let's test it now in a monster area. A monster area? It's a specific area where monsters appear. These areas are divided from level C to level A, and the closer to level A, the more formidable the monsters. The scene shows them approaching a monster area. It's a place marked by a barrier where monsters appear inside, but outside they don't. They are in a level C monster area, located in Bucheon. Yu Jihan thinks, alright, I'll test my powers here. Kim Sihu seems nervous, looking around. Is there a problem? Actually, this is my first time facing a monster area without being part of the Heroes Academy. What? You've never done a monster area before? I'm a little embarrassed since I'm the guild leader and I've never done this. Okay, then I'll take the lead from here. They enter the barrier of the monster area, a completely chaotic zone with fallen buildings and ruins. What kind of monsters appear in this area? Let me check quickly. One of the monsters that appears in Bucheon is a cockatrice, a mix of bird with something else I'm not exactly sure of. According to the news, about 2 weeks ago, there was an accident involving a truck transporting chicken chicks. So, they're like mutant chickens. Well, that's a good target for practice. From now on, this is a battlefield where blood can be spilled and your flesh can be torn at any moment. And with just 2 people in this team, I'll have to be both the attacker and the front line. Kim Sihu looks alarmed. I sense something coming from the parking lot towards us. They see one of the creatures swallowing a body, still chewing the head of the deceased. It turns to look at Yu Jihan. It's a level C cockatrice, and this shocks them both. Kim, cover me, shouts Yu Jihan. But the creature is already preparing to attack. As it lunges, Yu Jihan manages to defend with his sword, smiling slightly at his success. Now, he commands Kim, who begins to recite a spell. She uses the skill Winged Arrow, launching several arrows that hit the creature squarely in the chest. After a big explosion, the creature is defeated. You're pretty good, huh? Even if it doesn't seem like it. I was one of the top graduates of the academy, replies Kim. But behind them, another creature approaches stealthily. Kim spots it in time, but there are already 3 of them on top of Yu Ji-hun. He activates the sampling skill, analyzing the creatures and assessing the chance of evasion. He ducks and dodges all of them, despite the success rate being only 82%. He begins channeling one of the wind spirit spells and uses acceleration, moving so fast that he decapitates all the creatures quickly. Kim is impressed. This is completely insane. How is he using the sylph so easily? Did he really awaken the spirit just yesterday? Who is this guy? Yu Ji-hen sheaths his sword. Okay, Kim, let's gather these creatures here. Oh, yes, of course. I think this is enough for his test, says Kim. But suddenly, Yu Ji-hen's sampling skill shows something. Kim, behind you, a giant creature, much more monstrous than the others, is about to attack. Yu Ji-hen rescues her. Are you okay? Yes, I am. Are you sure only level C monsters appear in this area? This monster is a variant. The system confirms it's a cicatrix variant, and its level is unknown. Their chance of winning is only 12%. Kim, can you follow its movements? Maybe just a little, Kim responds. Yu Ji-hen is already charging at the creature, thinking, this is all I need. The creature tries to swipe at him with its claw, but Kim uses the spell Slow Wind, which binds the creature, making it slower. The protagonist spots an opening and advances with his blade to strike the creature's head. It manages to break free and opens its mouth, but Yu Ji-hen doesn't give up. With determined eyes, he remembers the former leader telling him he was no longer needed in the group. As the creature tries to bite, it is sliced into tiny cubes by the precision of the wind spirit. After the fight, Yu Ji-hen collapses, exhausted. Someone had been watching the entire battle. Well, looks like we have a spirit summoner here in Korea, says an observer. It's Yoon Do-ha, the Earth Spirit Summoner. The scene shifts to a Class 2 monster area, chaotic with ruins and debris. A large worm-like creature emerges from the ground, accompanied by several other giant worms. Yu Ji-hen's former team, the Heroes, are fighting them. Hwang Junho uses his taunt ability to attract the enemies. One of the creatures dives into the ground to attack him. I can't hold on much longer, says Hwang Junho. MC-eun responds, I know, and uses the chain lightning ability, hitting several worms simultaneously. A powerful explosion and a cloud of smoke follow. Hwang Junho, you're such a weakling, making such a fuss over some little fried worms, comments MC-eun. I almost got caught this time, says Hwang Junho. Anyway, get ready to retreat, says MC-eun. Suddenly, Hwang Junho sees something that shocks him. Seon, behind you. MC-eun remembers that Yu Ji-hen is no longer on the team, but someone appears and slices the creature in half. It's the team leader who finishes off the creature. After killing all the worms, they stop to rest, exhausted. I can't take it anymore. It feels different than before. Could it have been a mutant, says MC-eun. I don't know. They seemed like normal giant worms, responds Hwang Junho. Then why did we have so much trouble killing them, asks the leader. Lee Mia, covered in blood, says a zone too clear. I've told you not to be so reckless. If you get hurt, there's no one to help you. I know. Could it have been Yu Ji-hen? Are things going wrong without him? That's impossible. Even with one less, only Yu Ji-hen left. We don't need someone like him, says the leader. Meanwhile, Yu Ji-hen is literally slicing the creatures to pieces. Kim Se-hoo, impressed, comments, he defeated that mutant variant by himself. Who is this guy? Another person appears. So, you managed to defeat that mutant. Lucky you. Kim Se-hoo runs towards Yu Ji-hen. Yu Ji-hen, you're hurt. He collapses, exhausted. Hey, are you okay? Kim, gather his resources. Mutant monsters are rare. We can sell them for a good price. Kim is startled. I was so worried something might go wrong, and she punches him in the stomach. But come to think of it, there's not much to gather. If you need help, nice to meet you, heroes, says a man wearing glasses and carrying a backpack. I'm Jang Sa-em from the Mongdang Monster Selling Company. Monster Selling Company? Asks Kim. Yes, we collect these products. Our company is new. We need to do this to balance the books at the end of the month. How about letting us handle the sale of these cicatrix remains? Perfect timing. Let's leave it to him. Yu Ji-hen. Yu Ji-hen thinks, I'm feeling something bad emanating from this. But first, I'll check the condition of the merchandise. Jang Sa-em examines the cut made by Yu Ji-hen. With this quality, it'll definitely fetch a good price. Finally, I can renovate our office. But Jang Sa-em thinks, Sure, you can keep the leftovers, but the real prize is mine. He holds a crystal in his hands, a crystal that only comes from mutant creatures. With this, I'll get rich. Suddenly, the stones around Jang Sa-em fold, trapping his arms and legs. Please, spare me. I'll give it back. I swear I'll return the crystal. Merchants and their sticky fingers. You shouldn't take what's not yours, says Yoon Do-ha, the Earth Spirit Summoner. This magic crystal is mine now, and that's the Class 1 hero, Yoon Do-ha from the Data Guild. Why are you here? Asks Jang Sa-em. Now, Yu Jihan holds the crystal. This reward belongs to the Fun Guild. So, a Class 1 hero is here to rob us. Actually, it's an order from the association. I was assigned to take down this mutant. Who said that's my problem? Thinks Yu Jihan. This is too dangerous, he reflects, as his sampling statistics show a 0% chance of winning the fight. I think there's a misunderstanding here. Yoon Do-ha vanishes from Yu Jihan's sight and appears behind him, grabbing his face and slamming his head into the stone. This is an order. You want to be Spirit Summoner. We see Jang Sa-em's perspective. Damn, of all people, I had to run into him. The leader of the top C guild in all of Korea, the Data Guild. The only Earth Spirit Summoner in the world. His nickname is Dragon. Stay away from Yu Jihan. You better stay quiet, or this guy here is going to die. Damn, he's dead serious. I'm going to die, thinks Yu Jihan, as he sees a glow emanating from the wind spirit. You're going to die, says Yoon Do-ha, but Yu Jihan uses the wind bomb skill. Yoon Do-ha blocks the attack, but is thrown far away, pinned to the ground. How did he do that? At the moment he was about to hit the ground, he summoned the spirit to negate the damage and still managed to counterattack. Yu Jihan's sampling shows that if he continues using the spirit like this, he has a 95% chance of dying. I spent all my mana on that last attack, but I didn't cause any damage to him. This is a first-class hero, isn't it? I can't handle him. It seems Yoon Do-ha activates his skill too. Now that we're warmed up, let's start round 2. Yu Jihan throws the crystal into Yoon Do-ha's hand. I give up. What? You've already given up? You wanted the magic crystal, right? I have no intention of fighting anymore. And you won't break Article 38, Section 9 of the Hero Code, will you? Just when it was getting interesting, says Yoon Do-ha, but he hears a noise and looks back, seeing several helicopters arriving. They're here, the association guys. What's a Hero Association helicopter doing here? A woman in the helicopter starts shouting, Yoon Do-ha, how can you act on your own like this? But you can't say anything because I already completed the mission. Stop scolding me and get up here. We'll postpone our fight. Kit, what's your name again? Miran. It's Yu Jihan from the Fun Guild. You should participate in the promotion test for the 4th rank. I'll personally recommend you. Why would you do that? Just because it's funny, says Yoon Do-ha as he boards the helicopter. Did you hear what he said? Make the recommendation. But Dragon, the test is in 2 days. How are we going to make the recommendation now? Their guild isn't even properly verified. She gets startled seeing a wound on Yoon Do-ha's arm. Mr. Yoon Do-ha was hurt. How did this happen? Fun, very fun. Meanwhile, at the Fun Guild, Jang Sa-em is kneeling and apologizing. I was wrong. Please forgive me. Oh no, please listen to me. I actually overheard your conversation, and you're going to try for the 4th rank, right? The test is in 2 days. Don't you think you should get better equipped? What do you mean, better equipped? Your sword is in terrible shape, and the rest of your gear is just as bad. If you go with broken equipment, it's over. I know a great shop that can re-equip you. Then you can fight all you want. Yu Jihan and Kim Sihu exchange glances. All right, lead the way. They walk through the streets at sunset, and Jang Sa-em opens some doors that look like they lead to a storage area. Wait, there's nothing here. Jang Sa-em, are you lying to us? No, not at all. Who's there? The shop is closed. What do you need? They see a dwarf blacksmith. It's explained that dwarves are the best blacksmiths, easily crafting S-rank weapons, making them extremely important for heroes. Wow, it's the first time I've seen a dwarf. Me too, replies Yu Jihan. Jang Sa-em tries to sneak away. Wait, where did he go? A dwarf? I'm human and I'm Korean, says the blacksmith. The two are shocked, realizing they've been tricked by Jang Sa-em again. You're kidding. You are a dwarf. Show us your ID now. These crazy people. Here, take a look, says Jang Sa-em, showing his ID. It's real. 27 years old. And what is this picture? Kim, Call the police. Wait, can I see your sword? My sword? The blacksmith examines the sword, noticing the remnants of the wind spirit's glow. These are indeed rare scars. Are you a wind spirit summoner? How do you know that? A good blacksmith like me can tell just by the scars on your sword. Unfortunately, your current sword can't handle the power of the spirits. Wait a moment. I have the perfect weapon for spirit summoners here. He shows a powerful sword that can house a spirit. Yu Jihan is impressed. The narrative quickly advances to the day of the promotion test. We see a large building resembling a university. Yu Jihan enters and sees many people inside. There are so many people here. The rank 4 test. It's been so long. Back when I was with the heroes, there weren't this many people. More people start whispering. That's the guy who was expelled from the heroes, and now he's crawling for a rank 4. If I were him, I'd quit being a hero out of sheer embarrassment. Ignore them. Yu Jihan. People always gossip when they're together, says Kim Sihu. Yu Jihan thinks, it seems the incident with Yoon Doha wasn't all bad. I'll keep the fact that I'm a spirit summoner a secret. There's no benefit in drawing attention to it. Silence. You're making a mess at a rank 4 test. None of you here are special, not even mediocre. You are completely below standard, says the examiner, approaching Yu Jihan. To sum it up, you are disqualified. Yu Jihan thinks, Yoon Doha, you bastard. I am not okay with this. His sampling shows he has a 1% chance of passing the test. Sir, I sent the recommendation for the 4th rank test as you requested. Already? That's strange. Why did you choose this person as the examiner? The scene shifts to the 4th class examination room. We see various adventurers running and attacking the examiner. Look at this. No strategy. All of them decided to come at me. They drew their swords without thinking. As the attacks get closer, the examiner performs a move that knocks everyone down at once. You all are really idiots. While everyone is on the ground, unable to get up, it's shown that the 12th group failed. It looks like Bang Yoon-sik is really tough. Comments one of the spectators. I can't imagine anyone passing this test anyway. Everyone ranked 5 and below is like this, says one of the examiners, who I'll call Bang Yoon-sik. Well, I don't know what I'll report to the higher-ups, replies the examiner I'll call Oh Hyan. Only the last groups remain, comments the 3rd examiner, who I'll call Julia. Let's see. Fun Guild. Ah, so it's them. The ones recommended by our leader. The system shows they all belong to the Data Guild. It's going to be tough for them now. We see the protagonists entering the room. This man has no flexibility. Our group leader, and it's our buddy Bang Yoon-sik, who is now also the 4th rank examiner. Welcome to the 4th rank examination room. In the next 5 minutes, you will have to duel the examiner. If you can defeat him, you pass the promotion. How can we, a 5th rank team, defeat an examiner? Asks Kim Sihu. Yu Jihan observes the examiner. He must have faced all the groups alone and doesn't have a single scratch. He's still immaculate. Kim, please, just stay behind and cover me. Okay, understood. This battle won't be easy, says Yu Jihan, drawing his new sword. The 4th rank examination test begins, announces Bang Yoon-sik, who immediately kicks our protagonist. Ah, damn, a sneak attack right at the start. Yu Jihan manages to block, but is thrown far away. When Kim gets distracted, the examiner charges at her with a punch, but the blow is blocked by a barrier Kim created. What? She blocked my attack? No, it wasn't her, thinks Bang Yoon-sik. The recommendation letter was right. He really is a summoner, isn't he? The examiner kicks Kim away and charges at Yu Jihan. They cross swords quickly, and Yu Jihan realizes Bang Yoon-sik's strength. This guy is using all this force with a wooden sword. I need to create distance, thinks Yu Jihan, using the wind bomb to push the examiner back, who lands on his feet. Wind type ability, how annoying. Yu Jihan wastes no time and uses the haste ability to increase his speed, advancing stealthily. The scene shifts to the secretary talking with Yoon Doha, the ice dragon. Why did you choose Bang Yoon-sik as the examiner? Didn't you expect the recommendation letter to have the opposite effect? The Fun Guild is going to have a tough time now. Actually, he's the only one who can test them, responds Yoon Doha. Meanwhile, Bang Yoon-sik thinks, a swordsman who can cut the wind. He uses the Chaos Slashes ability in Yu Jihan's direction, leaving him bloody and injured. When Yu Jihan is on the ground, Bang Yoon-sik approaches. My speed wasn't enough. Is it because I used it against the Cacatris and against the Ice Dragon? The effects of using so much mana are still with me. Besides, this sword consumes a lot of mana. Who would have thought you got a recommendation from the Ice Dragon just to be disqualified here? Says Bang Yoon-sik. At that moment, Kim Si-hoo jumps in front of the examiner, casting a spell. Stay away from Yu Ji-han. She forces the examiner away from Yu Ji-han. I'm glad you arrived, Kim. From now on, leave this to me, says Yu Ji-han. I can't hide behind Yu Ji-han forever. I need to do this, thinks Kim Si-hoo. Idiot. Get out of my way, says Bang Yoon-sik. I'm not an idiot. I'm the leader of the Fun Guild. Look at that. An elf? Thinks Bang Yoon-sik. But for a mage like her to run at me like a swordsman, you really are an idiot. Kim uses her ability to listen to the flow of mana to dodge all the power blasts the examiner throws at her. She seizes the opportunity to use a wind arrow, but he easily deflects it with his sword. Useless. Do you really think that will work at close range? But behind him, another magic circle is conjuring another spell. So you prepared another sneak attack? He dodges again, but suddenly more and more magic circles appear. What? A 5th rank mage conjuring more than one spell at a time. She's trying hard to dodge everything. It's a 7-layered magic. No, 7 levels, says Bang Yoon-sik. At that moment, Kim uses slow wind on him, and 2 hands made of wind grab his legs. Now I'm caught, says Bang Yoon-sik as all the wind arrows head towards him. A large explosion occurs, raising a lot of dust. Now I got him. I think that's enough, even for an examiner. Not bad. Closing the distance to create a trap. It was a good strategy. But you're still too slow, says Bang Yoon-sik, who appears behind her with the wooden sword at her neck. He managed to block my 7-layer magic. When are you going to attack? Yu Ji-han, you'll lose because of your arrogance. This sword wasn't absorbing mana. I was just losing mana, but compensating for all that it absorbed. I can make a very powerful slash, says Yu Ji-han, using the skill Blade of the Whirlwind, forming a large gust of wind. The scene cuts to an office with several trophies. The owner of the office is looking out the window. Sir, I just brought the report from Kim Hyun-tae's team, says an assistant. The office owner just nods for him to continue. Kangwoo, he's doing well. I'm sorry, sir. Kangwoo is the guy who was put in Yu Ji-han's place after he left. This guy is the leader of the Heroes Guild, and I'll call him Pedro. The evaluation indicates that he's still adapting to the changes, so his competence is still a bit unstable. Kim Hyun-tae will take care of that. He will certainly be more useful than Yu Ji-han. Sir, speaking of Yu Ji-han, I heard he just took the test to become a rank 4. This completely shocks the leader. That idiot. What does he think he's doing taking a test like that without a recommendation? But sir, he did get a recommendation from Yoon Do-ha, the ice dragon. What did you say? The scene returns to the test, and Bang Yoon-sik's wooden sword is completely broken. Now, it is the examiner who is subdued, sitting on the ground. Yu Ji-han has taken control of the situation. The examiner is not just subdued. His face is all bruised, completely beaten up. The examiner thinks, how could he receive a recommendation from the ice dragon? He himself told me that using elemental abilities was cheating. Just surrender. Examiner, says Yu Ji-han. Afterward, in what looks like a waiting room, Yu Ji-han and Kim Si-hoo are sitting, extremely tired. Oh my god, I feel like I'm going to die now, says Kim. But Yu Ji-han, how did you adapt to the spirit so quickly? Kim asks. I don't know either, Yu Ji-han replies, starting to reflect. I think I only managed to master part of the ability because of this specific battle. Could it be that this was what that bastard ice dragon planned all along? But Kim, you were amazing. We only won because of you. It was nothing, says Kim, embarrassed. We passed the evaluation. Now we have an interview assessment, comments Yu Ji-han. We see other people from different guilds passing by them as they leave the room. They are called next. It seems this team put in a lot of effort, and the battle test results were very interesting. Meanwhile, our protagonists are anxious to hear the decision. If there are no objections, I will promote. I have an objection, says Bang Yoon-sik, referring to the previous team. Their front line is still hesitant. What will happen if their team gets attacked? How can a team like that try to enter rank 4? At this rate, no one will be promoted, thinks Yu Ji-han. They're talking as if they're purposely making us listen. Next, please. Good morning. We are from the Fun Guild, says Kim. The juror looks through the papers. Ah, so you were the only ones who passed the combat evaluation. That actually surprised me a lot. Yu Ji-han, feeling like ruining it all, says, I guess it was just luck. Kim, stressed, responds, thank you. There are only 2 people. We don't really need to interview them, says Bang Yoon-sik. But Oh Hai still murmurs, ma'am, can you show your ears? Your hairstyle looks strange. Sure, replies Kim, showing her elf ears. So, you are a half-elf. I thought you were pureblood. I almost guessed right. The juror beside him gets irritated. Hey, watch what you say. Ma'am, sorry, it's just a habit. But why does Mr. Yu Ji-han look so angry? Yu Ji-han just thinks, that son of a very hardworking woman. Hey, Yu Ji-han, I'm fine. Relax. says Kim. Yu Jihan calms down and sits in the chair. Let's continue our interview. So, Miss Kim, your father is named Giovan and is part of the Monster Research Institute, correct? Exactly, ma'am. And you also hunted a mutant recently. Yes, ma'am. This is incredible, especially for a guild with only 2 members. But Miss Half-Elf, it's the first time I've seen someone of your kind. Even with 10 years of being a hero, I'd like to ask something. If a group of elves invaded Korea, which side would you be on? Kim becomes very nervous with the question. Are you serious? Man, what? Is this how leaders train their members? Yu Jihan, calm down. You need to stay focused and be more serious in this kind of interview, says Kim. You're just asking this question to embarrass our leader, says Yu Jihan. The jurors are stunned by Yu Jihan's boldness. The interview needs to judge this. It's important too. Let's stop this, please. How can you blaspheme against our guild like this? I'd rather forfeit this promotion, says Yu Jihan. They begin to argue more, and Kim tries to intervene but can't. Damn, she thinks. Back at the Fun Guild headquarters, Kim tries to calm down by drinking something. Kim, I'm sorry. Because of me, we failed the test. It's all right, actually. Thank you for defending me. It's the first time someone has stood up for me like that. But if you've given up on the promotion, why are you still refreshing the website page? I just want to make sure. You know, I'm really sorry. Look, Yu Jihan, the people who passed to rank 4, says Kim. They stare at each other for a moment, and the scene shifts to the jurors. What are you thinking? Do you think this is right? Yes, I'm sorry about the argument earlier. I think I pushed too hard. They went so far for their personal lives. I was a bit curious. Fun Guild, how far will they go? Maybe you did this for nothing because we don't know how high you can climb in this rank. But if you make it, I'll crush you at the top, says one of the jurors. We passed. Yu Jihan and Kim celebrate. For now, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the story. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. These 2 things are very important. And the comment that will receive today's heart is, protect the elf. Thank you very much for tuning in.